Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the woodland today. Much cooler, few clouds in the sky, beautiful breeze. So I thought I'd come out and bring you into the woodland, but not to do a specific thing. We're not camping, we are not collecting firewood. This is 5 things to do in the woodland to relax. Now, whether that be on the weekend, on days off, in the evening for half an hour, whatever you can spare. Whether it be first thing in the morning, again, for half an hour before you head back home for your breakfast and off to work. So I've came here today to my local woodland, and I'm under 2 magnificent oak trees, beautiful. And I've bought a selection of things to do, 5 things to do in the woodland. So let's go with number 1 first. Number 1 is simply relax. Our lives now are very fast-paced, they're very stressful. Jobs, families, commitments, finances, etc. And nobody really goes outdoors anymore. When I was a kid, I was in the woods all the time, doing nothing naughty, but climbing trees, building tree houses, all things that young children did back in the day. And it's kind of frowned upon now. If you see a group of teenagers in the woods, you think they're up to no good, you'd phone the police, which is quite a shame, really. So yeah, number 1 is simply relax. I've brought with me a little camp chair. Just relax, take in the sights, open your senses. So look around, what can you see? Listen to the sounds, the wind, the leaves, the smells. It's rained this morning for the first time in a month. You've got that damp smell in the air. Taste, I'm not going to go start licking trees. And you've got touch, the bark of the tree, the leaves on the ground. So open your senses, just relax, sit down, be quiet, remain still, be patient. A bit of water, or even a coffee. Yeah, and just sit and wait to see what comes. Something might pass, something might not pass. So that's number 1. Number 2 is come to the woodland to observe. So that, need some binoculars. So I'm using my main sense of sight here. So I've got a nice open area here I've walked into. There's actually a track running through. And just over here, there's a very small track that goes under the hedges, through the thick trees, which would suggest there's probably muntjac deer, fox, or maybe even badger heading that way. So if I was here in the evening, I could set up a little sand trap, see what's coming in and out of there. Maybe just sit and watch. Underneath this tree here, I could sit here with some warm clothes on and just see what moves around. The other thing you can do is, apart from looking in the daytime, is set up a wildlife cam, nature cam, infrared, works in the day, works at night, battery operated. You put a strap around the tree. So you can come in the evening, set this up, it's motion detected, and it will film what's happening in this open area here. Like I say, muntjac deer, badger, fox, maybe roe deer. I don't know, who knows what would be in here. Beasts of Bodmin Moor, maybe in my local village. So yeah, so you can set up a night camera, and then the next morning come and retrieve the camera, and then just sit down and have a look what you've caught. So that's just an observation. So that's number 2. The third thing you can do in the woods, while you're still sitting here, is you can read. Anything you want, fact, fiction. I've got a selection of books here. These little books are observers. It's just half the selection, because the others are kind of freshwater fish, astronomy. But here I've bought trees, book of weather, book of mosses, book of wildflowers, common insects, and birds. So whilst I'm sat here, I can actually sit, not just look for animals, but look at the ground, look midway, look in the canopy, I'm under 2 oak trees. There's a lot of nettles around here. And just see what is on them. I can see the brambles there. The blackberries are coming out ready this time of year. And just observe what's here. Along with those books, I bought, what's that tree? Mushrooms and toadstools. We're getting to that time of year. We are in summer. It is very dry, but we will be heading into the autumn. And food for free, a forager's one. So like I've just said there, we've got brambles with fruit on it. We've got nettles that are edible. We've got all sorts in the woodlands that you can use throughout the year. And that'll be a video I do in the future about seasonal foraging and edibles. A couple of longer reads here. Bushcraft 101, a field guide to different things you can do in the woodland here. It's a good little read. 50 Things to Do in the Wild, another good read. Some of these books, if you go on my website, on the last page is some useful apps, some useful websites, and some useful reads. You'll see a list of books that I read on there and that I use quite frequently to help me plan a trip, plan an expedition, plan course and workshop content. So some of these books are on there. So try my website, have a look. I'll put a link to that in the video. This one is my very first outdoor book that kind of got me into bushcraft many years ago. And this is by Raymond Mears. Ray Mears, The Survival Handbook. I managed to get him to sign it at one of his lectures. But yeah, it's again, just how to live in the woods, some basics. So that's 3 things we can do. Observe, read, just relax. Have a snooze, put a hammock up. Yep, take your shoes off, put your feet on the floor and feel nature through your whole body, from your toes all the way up. If it drizzles, embrace it. If it rains, put a tarp up. What else can we do in the woods? So, let's go to another one. Let's go to whittling, bushcraft whittling. Doesn't need to be an axe or knife, as I've mentioned. I love this little book of whittling. It gives you great things to make, from ornaments to knives and forks, spoons, a whistle. What else? Ornamental, feather sticks, a little canoe here. So yeah, it just gives you some ideas what you can do whittling. To go along with that, I brought my little Opinel knife. I have a couple of these. I have one for food and one for whittling. And literally, you can just pick up a stick off the floor and just start to make something. Doesn't matter what it is. Use your imagination. Make some steaks. Anything really. Just relax. So that's another thing you can do in the woods. And there's plenty of sticks to whittle. Another thing in the woods you can do is you can test and hone your navigation skills. So there's a map of the local area here. And a compass. So I could go on the high point behind me and I can see the transmission lines go. There's a mast on the hill towards a neighbouring village over the way. There's a main commuter route between Aylesbury and Buckingham not far away. So I can test my skills, I can get in the woodland and just make notes, plan a route maybe. So that's another thing you can do. Trip planning, owning your navigation. With that, another book, Finding Your Way Without Map and Compass. So it kind of is reading and it's kind of navigation. This one's by Harold Gatty. I like this book because it's many ways of navigating. You've got, I do workshops on navigation. My main teachings are in navigation. So it's not all about map, compass, cartography. It's about natural signs. It's about how trees grow, which way they go, using the sun, the moon, etc. Satellite dishes, church orientations. So there's plenty you can do. Bird migration routes. It's a good book to read. And that's why I always wear a watch That is both analog and digital. So I've got hands, so I can also use that to find my way if I need to. And one of the last things you can do in the woods is, if I just get my bag here, is just bring a cheap sketch pad. That's a silver birch. What else have we got here? Little mountains and lakes scene. So yeah, there's a couple in here of different things. So you can either draw from imagination, take inspiration from what's around you and put that onto a picture of somewhere you're not. Again, letting your mind run free, or sketch where you are. A couple of different pencils here, a 2B and a 6B for different shades. And what that allows me to do, it allows me to connect with nature much more closely now. Because with all those 5 things I've mentioned, just what that does is it allows you to relax, calm, slow your breathing, level your blood pressure, use your senses, and actually look deep and observe of what is around. What may be in your back garden, your local woodland, your local park. Bigger trips, if you're going somewhere, there may be a river or stream passing through. But yeah, it's, you know, it just opens up your mind and takes you back to your ancestral roots, where people used to sit in the woodland and know what was here, understand it, and appreciate it, which I don't think we do anymore. You've got nettles are edible, nettle string. You've got the oak trees for shade, shelter, good firewood, slow burning. You've got a lot of dead wood here for kinder and tinding. I'm not going to light a fire at the moment. It's too risky. The weather's too dry. You've got brambles. You know, you've got willow trees back there, which is good for cordage, good for telling the weather. So yeah, observe, enjoy, relax, enjoy the woodland, enjoy nature. Thank you for watching. Take care. See you soon.